This happened in November 2019, when I was working at a logistics company in Portland, Oregon. The place I worked at was way out on the edge of town, almost near the Columbia River Gorge. The shifts were unpredictable, sometimes mornings, sometimes nights, and to get there, I had to drive through the Forest Park stretch, a long road cutting straight through miles of thick forest. During the day, that road wasn't so bad. But at night, it became a nightmare, no streetlights, fog rolling between the trees, and a silence so heavy it felt alive. At the time, I lived with my girlfriend, Emily. We'd been together for 3 years, and she always worried about me driving at night. She used to tell me, "I don't like that road, it feels cursed. Promise me you won't stop for anyone out there." It was a Friday night, November 15th, 2019. The rain had been falling on and off all evening, and by 11:30 p.m., the fog had settled in thick patches that glowed in the headlights. I was already getting ready to sleep when my phone rang. It was my boss. They needed me to cover the night shift immediately, an urgent shipment had come in. I sighed, kissed Emily on the forehead, and left the apartment. She was half asleep but whispered, "Please drive safe, okay? Call me when you reach." The air outside was icy cold. The rain had slowed to a drizzle, but the streets were slick and shiny, reflecting the pale glow of streetlights. As I turned onto Highway 30, the last traces of the city disappeared, and the forest swallowed the road. The deeper I drove into the woods, the more isolated it felt. The fog thickened, and raindrops ticked against the windshield like restless fingers. To keep myself calm, I called Emily. She answered groggily. "Already on the road?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. "Just needed to hear your voice. It's so damn empty out here." We talked while I drove, about her day, about a movie we were planning to see. Her voice comforted me. In fact, it was the only thing keeping me company as the road stretched endlessly ahead, swallowed on both sides by walls of black trees. Around 12:15 a.m., as I passed a sharp bend near Maclay Park, my headlights picked up something ahead. A girl. Standing completely still in the middle of the wet asphalt. I hit the brakes, tires screeching as the car skidded slightly on the rain-slick road. My heart slammed against my chest. Emily's voice came faintly through the phone. "What happened? Why did you stop?" I couldn't answer. My eyes were locked on the figure in the fog. She was barefoot, drenched, her long black hair clinging to her face. Her thin white dress stuck to her body in the rain. Slowly, she began walking toward my car. Step by step. Her movements were deliberate, unnatural. And then, as she came closer, my headlights revealed her face. It was Emily. The figure outside leaned close to my driver's side window. The rain ran down her pale face, but even through the glass, I could see the smile. It was Emily's face, yet something about it was wrong. Her eyes were too dark, too hollow, and her smile stretched wider than it should. Then came the knock on the glass. A slow, deliberate tap. Inside the car, my phone was still pressed to my ear. Emily's real voice came through, shaky and nervous. "Wait, stop. Don't you dare open that window." My chest tightened. How do you know someone's here?" I whispered. Her voice cracked, almost in tears. "Because? I can hear it. I can hear her breathing with us on the call." My blood ran cold. I held the phone closer, and that's when I heard it too. Underneath Emily's trembling words, there was a faint second sound. Slow, shallow breathing, like someone else was pressed against the speaker, listening. Emily's voice turned desperate. "That's not me out there. Drive, now." And outside, the thing that looked like her began dragging its nails down the glass, screech, as if it knew we were talking about it. The air inside my car grew freezing cold, like something had sucked the warmth out of it. My breath fogged up the glass, mixing with hers on the other side. The radio crackled to life suddenly, spitting static and faint whispers. I could swear I heard my name buried in the noise. The headlights flickered, and the engine stuttered. Then, bang! She slammed her forehead into the glass, leaving a wet smear. I flinched so hard I dropped my phone, but I could still hear Emily's voice through the speaker. "Drive. Just go. Don't look at her." With shaking hands, I slammed the car into gear and floored it. The tires squealed against the wet road, and the figure was swallowed by the fog behind me. But for a moment, in the rearview mirror, I swore I saw her still standing there, smiling, watching me go. By the time I reached the company's lot around 12:40 a.m., I was drenched in sweat, even though the night was freezing. My whole body was trembling as I sat in the car, too afraid to look out the windows. When I finally forced myself to check, I noticed something that made my stomach drop. On the outside of the driver's side window, 2 pale handprints. Perfectly shaped, pressed against the glass. Colder than ice to the touch. For days after, I couldn't sleep. I avoided the forest road whenever possible, even if it meant taking an hour longer to get home. Eventually, I did some research. Locals in Portland told me about a story. Years ago, a young woman had died in a car crash on that exact stretch of Highway 30. They say she was on the phone with her fiancé when it happened. And now, she wanders the forest road, appearing as the face of someone you love, trying to lure you into opening your door, or your window. To this day, I don't know what I saw that night. But I know one thing. That was not Emily. And if you ever find yourself driving through Forest Park, past midnight, in the fog and the rain, and you see someone you love, smiling at you through the glass, don't open the window.